Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for Filecoin. Now the biggest issue with most of the altcoin charts is where to take the bottom from. Now if we take it from the absolute low and consider that this isn't a truncation, even though it's possible, we're in a very tough correction at the moment, which would be we're in a huge B wave of a flat expected to come between 1278 and 1536, literally going out for the rest of the year, and then a correction back before we make our connecting wave here. We're just in a massive flat to the upside. That is if you go by the absolute low over here. And I'm going to show you a similar chart because you will probably notice something similar here, and that is H bar. This is how we can get repeating patterns. This is H bar on the left, and you can see the similarities here. Both daily charts, but you can see we had our move up in what looks like 3, move up in what looks like 3, 3-wave move down, 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, and we challenge this previous high, 3-wave move up, we challenge this previous high, and what happens next? We collapse down to the 786, same thing in H bar, and then we make our wave up for our B wave in the middle of that correction. So this is why Elliott Wave can be so helpful. It can save you from these traps. And again, it only is bullish if the low is over here or here. It's the only way it is bullish. Otherwise, it looks like we're breaking structure here, and what I would be looking for is a move up between the 618 and the 70% down on the 4 hour, a move up here, and then rejection to the downside again, unfortunately. I wish I had better news here, but that's how I see the pattern playing out. We have 3 waves up in a very complex WXY for our A wave, looking for 3 waves down here for our B wave, and 5 up for our C. Up between the 1.236 and the 382 extension of this beginning A wave, in which case we make a flat pattern to connect our C wave. Now there is one bullish setup I see, and that would be if we're making a leading diagonal, but then we have to go by the new rules of diagonals, and that is the third wave is longer than wave 1. You can see we have some problems here with some overlap, and we already came to the 1.618 extension of this first wave to the upside. So we'd want to move sideways here and go up for our 5th rather than come down here and making our trend line not really contracting anymore. So not the best news here, but that's the best scenario I could see if this was the low. And finally, the only one that's bullish is if you consider this the low and we got a truncation. This would be a leading diagonal. We'd then expect an ABC and then up for our third wave, which would take off. As you can see, there's nothing really good about this chart. I'm actually interested in potentially a scalp short, but I will update that as we go. This is, again, a pretty tough count in itself. It looks like potentially 3 waves complete with a triangle here. So that looks like 1, 2, 3, working on a 4, potentially 5 down, then our ABC up, or an A wave complete as 3, looking for 3 up, break that 70%, and then come down for 5 as potentially just our first wave to the downside as an A wave. And we just grind down here. I wish I had better news for you guys. Areas where I would change my mind is if we actually break this high, and even still I'd be concerned of this leading diagonal. So we need to see some pretty bullish moves here in a clean 5 for me to get bullish on this. This is what I think is the most likely scenario. We're going to come down between the 50 and the 786 before being interested in a long position after. But once we do get that, there is a nice move here of 200-300% to the upside. But at the moment, it's just not looking the greatest. Again, take a look at H-bar and you will see almost a mirror image to where we were a couple months ago. So sorry to bring some bad news, but if you count the low from here, this is the best I see, and you have to assume truncations if you're bullish on this one. All right, guys, that's it for Filecoin. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos if you want to see my other setups, and make sure to subscribe.